Mary Teagarden is Professor of Global Strategy and Associate Dean of Faculty and Administration at Thunderbird School of Global Management, and she joins me via Skype from Phoenix. Professor, we keep hearing this is a substantial step forward, but economically, will this put the United States and China on a different path?
Economically, I don't think it will have much impact at all. This, while it's touted as a big deal, this is the first baby step of a comprehensive deal. So I don't think phase one will have much impact.
And based on what we know at this point, what will this agreement mean for China? What will it mean for the United States?
Well, for both countries, it means that we're beginning to reestablish a positive rapport, talking to each other again. It's critically important that we continue talking and moving forward with trade. I'm an advocate of foreign trade and trade with other countries. It makes good economic sense at home, and it makes good economic sense for the country with which we're trading. In this case, the Chinese government is concerned about a lag in employment that they're attributing in part to the tariff wars that we're having. And in the U.S., despite political claims, economists that look very carefully at our economy have been able to identify significant slowing in our economy attributed to the trade war.
Well, if I'm an American company and I do my manufacturing in China, what does this mean for me?
If you're an American company manufacturing in China right now with the tariff schemes that have been in place, it costs you more money to produce and sell your product back into outside of China markets than it does without tariffs. So goods coming from Apple, for example, will be less expensive. Companies that produce components, like Intel that produces chips, can export those chips at a lower cost. So basically, it helps American companies be more competitive.
But with so many tariffs still in place, will those companies actually see a dent in their business or in the amount of tariffs that is being imposed?
Well, most companies will not. Basically, phase one benefits farmers considerably, and it's good. Farmers need help. It barely touches manufacturing from everything that I have seen and heard.
And I want to bring up something that U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said since this dispute started. He says, he claims the U.S. has been taking in tens of billions of dollars from his tariff hikes on Chinese products, but that's not how tariffs really work, Professor. Explain to our viewers, in reality, how these tariffs work. And at the end of the day, it's U.S. companies and consumers, from what I understand, who pay the ultimate price.
You're correct there. Basically, when a company imports goods that are subject to tariffs, it's like paying a tax. You pay money to import. When you pay that tax, you have options, and those options can be things like pass it on to your customer, which is very common. It can be lower your profits, which is much less common, but also happens. Or it can make you highly uncompetitive, or it can just raise your cost of doing business. Because the tariffs don't go to the government. The government doesn't benefit.
All right. So we'll have to leave it there. Professor Mary Teagarden, thank you so much.